Hello, hello. Happy, what is it? Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. How is everybody? Wow, what's going on YouTube? Gabriel, Russell, Gary, Colin. Who else we got in there? Juicy in there? I don't see Juicy. Welcome. David, welcome. Long time no see. Everybody should come over to Twitch. It's lonely there. Yes, and if you use your Amazon Prime, you can not only can you support this effort, you get it ad-free. So I support that message. I don't get rich doing that by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely most appreciated. So all right, Tuesday. What do we got cooking today? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. You mean you get inspiring chat and ad-free viewing? I know, it's amazing. It is amazing. And it gets on the screen right there for all to see, for permanent viewership. You have Prime? How do you do that? I got to look it up. Hang on. It's super easy. Well, it's not super easy, but it's how to use Amazon Prime for Twitch. Yeah, so let's see. Sub for free with Twitch Prime. No, that's not it. Oh, you have to link your Amazon and Twitch accounts. So here is what you do. If you have Prime, yeah. And then I think this is, it's a little convoluted. It gets there. But you use, once you connect the two accounts, then you can select the account that you want to subscribe to. So there it is. Hope that makes sense. Certainly do appreciate it. Don't have to, but there it is. What do we got today? I was hoping to have, I got some more client repairs coming in, but they didn't arrive today. One of them I know is gonna make someone nervous. But I got a pair of senior dual folds coming in. One in Mandarin, which is one of my favorite colors, and then of course one in red. But they did not appear today, so we'll have to wait on that. But I spent most of the morning trying to get Clairefontaine sorted out. Originally, I was going to have it in our newsletter that we send out on Tuesday mornings, but there was no way. There was no way it was getting out. I still had all the boxes, a pile of boxes, unopened, unchecked in. I still have to get the listings on the website. I don't have images for them yet, so I'm working on that today. But it'll be pretty soon. That's up. Should be hopefully it should start going up later on today. There'll be some products going up. Triumph paper. Now Execlair was out of some of the options, and I forget which ones, but I do have A5 and A4. The Triumph envelopes that match those, which are quite nice. And then lots of A5 and 6x8. See, they have weird sizes. They have like 6x8, but then they have 6.5 by 8 or 6.5 by 8.5. And so they have different sizes based on what the ruling is. And they're not always A sizes either. So, but they're all roughly, we'll just kind of lump them into kind of A5-ish size. I've got a bunch of those, some A6, some A7-ish size. So some really fun stuff and a bunch of stuff I've never ever carried. So I don't believe I've ever carried top wire bound A7. And it just looks so much fun. And then there's I think there's a 4x6 and a 5x7 top wire bound Clairefontaine, which really looks just the right amount of paper. You know, you're done with it, you rip it out, boom, done. So I really like that idea. Sometimes Lisa looks at me like I'm from Mars. Like, why did you order that? Like, we've never ordered that before. I know, but you know, we always have this paralysis around a notebook or something. The larger it gets, the bigger the paralysis. You know, you don't want to write something down because you want to make sure what you write is important. Well, the smaller it is, if you don't like it, you just rip it out and throw it away. And especially with wire bound, coil bound. So anyway, those will be out pretty soon. All right, let's take a look what we got. All right, I got nothing in the middle. I guess I should move this over. We're gonna try this this lovely Sheaffer here. I wish there was a way that I could convince them to sell this to me, but it is a family piece, so that's not happening any day soon. And then we're gonna look at this JUCO stylograph. We need to start working on that. What else do I have over here? I suppose I should look for a section for this green pen, this green Sheaffer. I got a couple pens I can look for parts for, but I've got some Esterbrook's I really need to start. I've got a new project, a new idea that I want to undertake, and you think the Sheaffer is in this catalog? Let's take a look. 1921. So let's see if I can get this right. There we go. Ebony pens. Look at that. 14 karat. I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those. Oh, that case maybe, huh? Hey, Spicy. Yeah, 186 bucks for the assortment. Look at that. I'd take that any day. Let's kind of scroll down. Let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. 27M. That's probably the one, right? Yep. That looks like a 27M. How much did that go for? Sterling silver scroll. $6. $6. And look at this though. But the 26M. $27.50. Solid 14 karat gold. You see a giant carrying people on his strong back since 1921. No, they're not a Rushi. No. The 61C, look at that. That's nice. How about the 81? So you can get an 81 for 10 bucks, or you can get the solid gold ring top for $27.50. I don't know which I'd rather have. Deluxe hand engraved. Oh, man. Same with midget holder and chatelaine top. Cool stuff. Pencils. Lots of pencils. Look at that. Deluxe full hand engraved. $50. 14 karat solid gold. Woo. Thank you, Colin. Sheaffer Gifty sets. What do we got? Some of the many Sheaffer superiorities. Free showcases. I want one of those. Can I have one of those? Hey, believe it or not, I have this pencil. With the demonstrator. All right. All right. Well, my client will be happy to hear that. My camera is a little crooked. There we go. Yeah, how crazy it up. In 1921, $27.50. That would be nuts. There he is. Colin. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for. My rag. So it is kind of sad that it's not the right nib. But, you know, what are you going to do? This is, you know, this nib has been in this pen for a long time. Well, that was tight. I didn't like that. Oh. Yeah, I know, Spicy. Ban him as soon as I see him. Just a little bit of previous polish or something on here. Are those the Arushi pens we were supposed to look at when I was at your place? I think with the amount of stuff we wanted to work on, I needed to have been there like another 3 days, which just wasn't going to happen. Either that or I was going to same tray, yeah. I was going to gain 10 pounds with all the food we ate. Next time we need to schedule nothing outside the house to look at a few things. Yeah. Although one of my favorite memories was uh, David and I went to this barbecue place. I think it was the last night I was there, and it was kind of this fun little place where you go in and they slap it down on a tray for you, and it's nothing fancy. They don't come to your table, whatever. You kind of go in and grab a tray and tell them what you want, and they slice it. And they put it down on a tray for you, and it was pretty packed. And we sit down, and um, we ended up sharing a table with another couple, and like the longer they talked to us, you could see their head just start to go when they asked us what we did, and it was just funny. It was just funny. What do you do? Well, I sell vintage and rare fountain pens. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Couple miles in the summer heat here helps when you overeat. Yeah, actually, I did pretty good. I did pretty well. Um, Considering all the awesome food we ate, I don't think I did not gain a whole pound. It was gone within 2 days. So it just normal ebb and flow. Before I dip this in, I'm gonna just clean up the base here of the nib. I just like it to look nice. Liz, you're so excited. You finally caught me online. I'm here. Thanks for tuning in. This is probably the only time you're going to see me write with a pen like this. What did we say? This is a 27M. Is that what we said this was? Let me look that back up. So I have this. 27M. Yeah, 27M. $6. Colin, thank you for the subscription. Glad you can figure that out. Lisa has a hard time with it. You know, she tried to figure it out and was like, eh. Unfortunately, it's not automatic, so you have to you do it every month if you want. But it also gives you the opportunity to, if there's other streamers, you can subscribe to other streamers too. So next month. Original cost $6. Princely sum, well, not too bad. Actually, would have been less than a dual fold senior, so a good deal, really. Very crisp nib. Hey, actually, I could use this nib on my dip pen. Nice nib, though. Whoever put it in did a really nice job, actually. Okay. With prime, people can prime my backup to make it stronger. Wouldn't that be something? What a nice little pen. What a nice little pen. There's just something so nice about a filigree. I'm so glad somebody decided that this was a thing that we were going to need on fountain pens. And that they did it. I mean, I'm happy with the full overlay, but something like this, all day, every day. Give it to me. Fills nicely. Good to go. Yeah, this design is beautiful. I hope to someday have a filigree Sheaffer in my collection. It's not going to be this month. All right. Moving right along. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. You would love to see them in a modern pen. Well, I actually just sold a... I'm not a huge fan of the pen, but... I actually just sold a modern Conklin with a filigree. Obviously not as nice as a vintage, but it actually wasn't too bad. It was the Conklin Endura Deco Crest. Actually, I had it for quite a while, and I literally just sold it yesterday, which was nice because it was the last pen a particular consignor had, and they want to buy something else, so it's going to kind of work out real nice for them. Okay. It's good to go. Put that off to the side. Let's see what we can do on this guy. Let's try a little heat, see if we can unscrew this. I mean, if you really want a nice overlay, and the best overlays, bar none, Henry Simple. I'll never forget the one year I was at the Arkansas Pen Show, Little Rock show, and Henry showed up, and like so many people bought his overlays that literally the money got sucked out of the room. I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, it's probably cheaper to buy an Urushi pen. And Henry passed away. Henry died. And he used to do the overlays for Onoto. So, I mean, you can't find them. I mean, you can find them, but. All right, I'm gonna try my new, why not? Let's try our new, I'm gonna clean this out. I don't remember what was in here. Probably Dr. G's. My Repeatoes, and we're gonna soak this. Kind of disgusting, whatever that is. Where did I put that big bottle? In case you need a bottle of Repeatoes. Is this going to be impossible to get out in my little shot glass? No, it won't be too bad. Oh, you know what I got to do, I bet. I bet they were smart and yeah, they sure did. Now let's see. I'm going to dilute this a little bit. It's probably it's about 50%. Maybe not quite. Let's do that. We got it in there. And I can already see some ink coming out of the tip. Let's put that in the ultrasonic. Let's see if we can clean this. Always wear your glasses. Hey, Gary's in. Gary's in on Twitch. Everybody's moving to Twitch. Look at that. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Colin, if you're interested, just let me know. We can talk. So I spent the remainder of my birthday yesterday running to help my daughter's fiance get his car started. Thankfully, it took longer for me to get my tools in the car than it did for me to fix the problem. So that was good. Which reminds me, I'm missing. I got my tools in the car. Is this where the party's at? This is where the party's at. It's a party's at right here. It's right here. See all these people talking? It's cool. Party's happening wherever it needs to happen. But we got all fixed up, and then for you kind of Midwesterners, I had my dinner at Culver's, which part of me says is really sad, but part of me was like, you know what? It's hot. I'll take one of their little, what do they call them? Not a Frosty, but one of their little ice cream things, and their fries are great. So that was the extent of the rest of the evening. I did still get a ride in, so that was good. I can see some adhesive in here, which was one of the reasons it was really hard to get this open. So there's kind of a ridge. You love your Endura Deco Crest. It was I gotta admit, it was reasonably well done. I mean, it's unfair to compare it to any vintage overlay. Especially when you're talking Aiken Lambert, Waterman, Sheaffer, and kind of in that order, you know. I mean, the Aiken Lambert overlays are just nothing short of stunning. And I don't even like to talk about them because someday I'd like to collect them again. I don't want to drive the price up. I remember what happened the first time I did that. All of a sudden, pens I was getting for $125 were $500. Well, hey, look at this. This is fun. You see that? All that brown nastiness. All right. Party, party. What did we determine? This was plastic? I think we determined this was plastic. Are you implying I should sell my boring Sheaffers and buy Aiken Lamberts? Only some of the Sheaffers to me. Because a nice, as nice a collection you have, they should go somewhere that will be loved in, like, the bigger ones. I'll sell you a half overlay. How's that sound? Problem with Aiken Lamberts is almost, as far as the good ones are concerned, almost none of them are marked. They're never marked. Nib only. You know, you get the Mercantiles and the Lady Dainties and the Capital Cabinets. Those are marked. But those are just plain, you know, chased hard rubber. You should buy enough to fill your display case. Now. You and I both know what kind of money that involves. Time for a stock up on some cotton swabs here. You can do it, but the rule is, there's a rule. You can't have duplicates. You crazy money, even crazier than the party happening here right now. You got a Triumph 444 XG for carry, kind of a mini legacy. Huh. Nice. Yeah, so no duplicates. No duplicates on the Aiken Lambert. And let's say as long as we're having ridiculous rules for a ridiculous idea, you got to have at least one safety and one sleeve filler. and if nobody understands why I'm laughing, it's that Aiken Lambert safeties are about as easy to find as, I don't know. They're not easy to find, ever. I had a streak about 14 years ago where I found four of them, four or five, in straight succession, after having looked for a long, long time. You know, and sometimes, you know, the more you look, the more you don't see, and then all of a sudden they all appeared. You defy anyone to find another Sheaffer matchstick filler. Well, you can, you know, and that was one too. Aiken Lambert made a matchstick filler. I think the matchstick filler was the only one I never had, and I have a friend who has one. You know, he's not going to sell it to me. Although it's been a while, maybe I should ask him. Hey, buddy. But Aiken did the matchstick filler where they actually had like a crescent. They had what do you call that part? A lock ring that slid over. That slid over the hole. Ask once every 2 or 3 years. It's been a while. I should ask him if he still has it. Don't be a bother, but be relentless. It's sort of like those Edisons that I know I'm never going to get from your friend. Yeah, people's tastes change, you know. You have a Holland hatchet, but you don't think you have a matchstick. Holland hatchet has been one that has just I've never been able to be on the winning end of. I had a client for a while that was a big Holland collector, which is probably why I got interested in Holland. Um, and But what I liked about Holland was like the saddle fillers. I thought the saddle filler was the bee's knees, man. Yeah, and you know the thing with Holland though is like there's some really really great ones, and then there's some that are kind of like, you know, do you really want to kind of meh Holland, or do you want one that's got like a cool filling system, or a cool overlay, or super cool nib, or you know, I think it's got to be something special. You think you won the one that bid on it at Ohio? That's right, there was one last year, wasn't there? Yeah. Yeah, I was so frustrated with that auction in Ohio last year that this is the first time I've ever done this, and I was tired though. I was really tired. I up and left. I didn't win a single thing, and I just like, and I was bidding on. It's not like I wasn't bidding on stuff. I was bidding on stuff for me. I was bidding on stuff for the shop, and I just like I'm over this. Nick won everything. Yeah, he was paying really high prices for that stuff. I couldn't. I don't get it. I don't get it. It was, I mean, you're paying close to retail for an unrestored piece. I mean, I get it that, you know, this time here is, well, okay, I won't say it's free, but the great ones are equal to any of the high-end pens of the past. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Someday I'll get a hatchet, but the prices have gone so high. Anything with the flex nib he resells to his calligraphy students. Yeah. You know, and a lot of Hollands are going to have a soft nib at best. So, all right, we're going to leave this in here. This is actually, it looks like it's coming along nicely. I don't know if you can see that. We'll leave it in there for a little bit more. I got some other pens we can look at. Actually, let's do this. I want to see if I got a section for this. that poor guy. As much as you hate the idea of leaving all the fun, you need to run some errands before 5. All right, sounds good. I guess you're an hour ahead, aren't you? Have a good afternoon. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, that was a heck of an auction. I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Gotta go. That's too small. I need a full size. Ooh, this might be it. This might be it. Is that about the right size? That's the right size. Watch, I can't get this one out. Did a feather touch. And this one originally was a lifetime nib. So really I need no. I could take this out and knock out the nib. That's an option. Alright, is that going to be my only one? I got lots of oversized junk in here. Oh, no, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. No nib, though. That's a possibility. I like this one, but it doesn't have the right nib. So either way, I got to swap a nib, so I might as well take the one that matches. One of those things I just really don't want to spend the time on. Now this is a nice pen. It's a Feather Touch. Why is this pen in here? Color as well. Well, nope. I think we're going to take this section, take the nib out, oh, but that's a different feed. I might be able to make something out of those 3 pens. Now, I'm also making the assumption that this pen was correct as is. Although the person I bought it from kind of knows what they're talking about, so... So that collar stayed in here. It's pretty scrunched up. Somebody scratched their name in there. Jeez. You're finding that vintage Esterbrook pens are not in demand. Slow sales. Yeah, I mean, I have that right now too a little bit. Although the prices have risen substantially. There we go. It's moving. The thing is, you can still buy them in lots for 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. Nobody wants to, and they're easy to restore. So you buy $10 worth of repair supplies and you restore it yourself, or you buy it from somebody who's restored it and it's 50, 55, 60, 65 bucks. So but you just can't sell them for $25 a piece anymore. Your labor's worth something. I mean, I remember when I used to feel guilty selling them for $18. If you use archive.org, you can actually see, look at my old Esterbrook website, and you can find instances where I was selling, LJs and SJs for $15, $18 a piece. I didn't want to hit the $20 mark, and I was still making money. Obviously not a lot, but all right, there we go. Does this have this got a different feed. Well, we can reuse that feed. How about we do that? We're going to use this nib and feed in that section. Maybe. Turn this off. It's so hot today. It's like a sauna stepping outside. Yeah, and you still, you pay 20, 25 bucks, you still have to redo it. For sure. Restoration, And there's not a lot to screw up. But my experience has led me to believe that you just can't trust anybody on eBay at all. There are a few good sellers. But then there are also sellers that, you can tell they're up to no good. Everything is flexible and, it's flexible, but then they don't claim to be a pen expert. All right, let's okay, we can trim that down a little bit. This is so awesome watching you work on pens while I work on my pens. I just finished a Wall Eversharp and chased red hard rubber. And getting that section out is something that metal on metal gets fused together. Yeah, it's terrible. You want to do some of mine? I got a nice oversized deco band that I can't get open. I gave it to Mike Kennedy. So here, open this up. Nope. Your son found SJ in the trash. It looked melted, but it came back and came back straight, and it works great. Found it in the trash. I need to go where you're trash hunting. All right, so we're gonna work on that. Got that cooking. We'll have to trim that down a little bit. What do I have this stuff over here for? I don't know why. Well, that didn't work. I didn't want to work on that. Reading the Marshall book, I'm scared by his alternative methods to get them apart. Yeah, that's how it is sometimes, right? You read the alternative method and you go, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that today. Crap. Ah. This glass is a little too tall. You mind weighing in on the whole okay to wax, not okay to wax celluloid and ebonite after polishing? Yeah, I'll give you my opinion. You know, like they say with anything. Well, this is a family-friendly show, so I probably shouldn't say it, but number one, we should not use Renaissance wax ever. Oh, there we go. There we go. That should not, that just, it's been proven, I think, too much that it causes issues. As to other waxes, I don't know. I personally, if it's a pen for my collection, you know, I get the dirt off and that's it. I'll polish with microgloss. I've got a big vat of my super cool looking label here. Microgloss 5. Sometimes I use 1, but not usually. I use 5, and that pretty much cleans off any dirt, any surface muck, for celluloid or plastics. So I'll do that. Beautiful. For ebonite, microgloss works great for that too, but you have to be very, very, very careful with those. With ebonite, the only thing I'm really going to do is if it's heavily discolored or it's unevenly discolored, I'll put it in Dr. G's. This stuff, if it's black hard rubber, the deoxidizer, end caps, blind caps for dual folds. I'll put them in the deox and then kind of polish them up. But I don't wax. I don't get a real after Dr. G's, no, I don't use mineral oil. I will use the other Dr. G's product, the Rejuvenate, the Clean and Shine, which is this little bottle here. I don't really know what's in it, but it works really well. The little small bottle. And then, you know, make sure it's not sitting out in the daylight, and you're pretty good. But that's what I'll do. I don't over polish anything for my collection. Now, if I'm selling it, if it's a pen that I'm selling, you know, and it's a balance or whatever, I'm still not going to over polish it, but I will polish it so it looks nice. Most of the pens that I sell are really going to be users, or, you know, I mean, there are some collector grade pieces, but not a lot. And just want to see if how that fits. It fits pretty well. So people are going to use them. They want them to look nice. That's why sometimes we talk about, my friend David and I go back and forth. He's on the channel usually. Sorry, it's a very, very careful operation there. As to polishing patina off of nibs. Users want shiny, pretty things. And so, unless it's a really exceptional example, or eyedroppers, you know, vintage hard rubber eyedroppers, those I might leave the patina on. In other words, you know, especially if I have to. Oh, that's much better. Much better. If I have to take the nib out, like this guy here, we're going to polish this up. You know, we're going to get rid of this mark here. And you always want the underside to be nice and clean. Ooh, this is nice. This is going to be nice. But yeah, I don't go overboard. I don't think it's, you know, we don't last forever. And as far as I'm concerned, these are not my pens. They are, I'm just preserving them for the next generation, or, you know, and what the next generation does with them, I guess, is their problem. I'll be long gone by then. But I don't find that original, at least a few original samples that I've seen of various pens, they weren't highly polished and shiny like you see modern pens now. Which is why if I'm using, you know, micro mesh, I usually stop at, you know, if I'm cleaning off a section or something, micro mesh, I'll stop at 8,000 grit. You know, if it's too shiny, it looks unnatural. Same could be said for microgloss 1, but sometimes you do want that little extra zip. You know, but hard rubber, if it's only just a little bit oxidized, I kind of like it. It reminds me it's old. You know, it's great when you come across a perfect condition, perfectly black Waterman 52. But if it's not, the amount of effort to get it to look like that, if you can get it to look like that at all, is immense. It's a lot of work for almost no return. And you know, and the Dr. G's works great, but you still got to rub it. And oh, this nib is really dirty. We're gonna put that in there. Apparently it's been a month. You need to resubscribe. It's resubscribe day. It's, by the way, it's also today is National Corvette Day. So, you know, you see a Corvette on the road, give them a wave. It's, you know, Corvette birthday. Coincidence? The day after my birthday? I think not. Yeah, more labor than it's worth, I think. You know, and especially if it's something that, if you're a collector, like I'm like a pretty, like if you open up the you know, the dictionary and you look up collector, they show my picture, right? I collect pens. I don't necessarily use them all. They go in the pen case, and that's what happens. You know, I'm not going to use them. Why am I going to spend all that extra effort? Fuzzy, how you doing? Hope you guys had a good birthday supper. Yeah, it was. I mentioned earlier, it went kind of sad and okay at the same time. We ended up, after working on my daughter's fiance's car in the parking lot at a CVS. Um, we said, you know what, the heck with this. We'll just go grab something to eat. And we ended up going to a Culver's, and it wasn't anything fancy. We were going to go somewhere nicer, but it didn't happen. And I'm good with that. Let's see if we can get this out. It was nice though. It was nice. It was kind of what I wanted at the time. I was like, you know what? That would be all right if we got that. But I got to see my daughter, who I know I see every week. And then the funny thing. So here's the funny thing. So we're sitting down, and we're eating. We said we're not going to take it home. We're going to eat it at the Culver's. And if you don't know what Culver's is, it's like a Dairy Queen with food. You know, I guess they used to call them Brazzers or whatever. All of a sudden my phone rings, and it's my son, and I'm like, oh crap, now what? What's happened? Just stop and enjoy life is good. Yeah, we're always running around. Yeah. And then so my first thought is like, oh crap, what's wrong with Garrett? Is there something wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, hey Garrett, what's going on? Are you okay? He goes, hey, I just wish you a happy birthday. It was kind of funny. Like, oh, okay. Well, thank you. All right, I don't know what we're doing here. So I need this collar. Is this all going to work? I know I need a collar, but I just want to. All right. So next up, we're going to heat this. I am certain this is more trouble than it's worth. I should have just put this whole thing in there. Ah. Okay, so that goes towards the front. We're going to put that up. Okay. Watch none of this fit. I'm going to think positive, though. If we can get the nib and feet in, then we can just trim down the section and it will be just fine. Melbourne Pen Show tickets go on sale today. They held over 2 days for the first time. It's going to be held in a larger venue given the large amount of people who turned up last week. Last week? Last year. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, it's such a good show. Let's do it again next weekend. Oh, what a nightmare that would be. Especially for the vendors. Yeah, no, you're coming back. We didn't tell you that? I know, I know. Last year. All right, we got that nice and. Lisa looked at me today and she says, "You know what's happening 5 weeks from tomorrow?" Tomorrow? You go, "No, what's happening 5 weeks from now?" She said, "We're going to DC." Like, oh, anybody in the chat going to DC show? I haven't been in years, so I'm really kind of looking forward to it. Oh, this isn't gonna fit, is it? Backwards. Did it shrink because I put it in? Let's see this. Yeah, yeah, I did a little bit. All right, so okay, we're gonna get it started, then we're gonna heat it up. If you ever wondered what you need that little tiny hole for, it's for this. Heat this up and push it down. What I always want to do is drill holes on the side of my bench so that I could do it at an angle. Okay. I think I would like our show to grow more and get 2 days in Montreal. We doubled tables and added classes this year. It is hard to see stuff and talk to vendors. Yeah, yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah, one day shows really aren't enough, especially if you've got classes and things. Because you go to the class and you just miss what's going on in the show. Because now that I do that, I'm not happy with this nib. Too big. I find I use the smaller size of these nib pliers more often. I guess this pen was kind of an impromptu repair today. Yeah, that looks better. You like the smaller pair too? Just as well, you knocked the large pair off your desk and it hit the tile. Oh, well. I'm determined to make this work considering all the work that I've put in just to get this nib into this section. I've got a left tine that is a little bit not straight. And of course, these Sheaffer nibs are really firm. So moving them into position is really hard. Oh, so frustrating. Anybody who thinks it's easy to adjust nibs has never done it. I'm just trying to get them a little bit closer. They're pretty parallel. They need to just come in a little bit. Probably should have looked for a different nib, but I was hoping this was going to be a simple. Well, this was the nib that was in the pen. All right. Come on. Get it. I like that the slit is nice and straight now. I don't even need a loop to see that it's not a big gap. You were thinking about getting a table at the show, but you were worried about not having enough pens. Exploring sharing a table with other pen group members. Your pen group runs a show. Yeah, I mean, do that. Don't worry about what you have. I mean, obviously, if it's, you know, if it costs you $150 to get the table and you've got $30 worth of pens that you're going to sell, then that doesn't make any sense, right? But I know you got more than that. Because the other thing is my good friend Bert Ozer taught me. He says, well, you know, if you can't sell at a show, then buy. You have to buy. So, you know, you pay $100 for the table or whatever it is. You don't sell $100. Maybe just being there is enough that someone sees you and you end up buying pens, you know. I wish you could see what I'm seeing. It's just really... Any thought, recommendations on nib blocks? Well, yes. Oh, you want me to tell you? My thought on nib blocks is that you really don't need one. Let's try that and see what happens there before I make any adjustments I don't want to live with. very few people actually use them. I think nowadays there are some acrylic blocks which are less expensive than. Hang on. I don't know where they are. I got a couple of them. I think they have some interesting. Where are they? I have 3 of them. I'm looking over at my tool chest. I think they have an interesting place in fountain pen repair history. I no longer think that they're really the primary method by which many people are repairing nibs. If the I think the acrylic ones are, I know they're the cheapest. If the acrylic ones work for you, then get an acrylic one. Before you invest in, this is going to bother me. It's going to bother me. I've got 3. I just found 2. I have another one somewhere. This is the OG. This is the John Mattashaw nibs. Yeah, what did you do? This is the John Mattashaw nib block. He had these made. I forget how many he had. Mine is serial number 38. The Stettler nib block is very similar, but it doesn't have the knockout punches here. Although those are a little bit too shallow for a knockout. They're more of a setting. Probably in this manner. You put it in and put your nib back in the section. The Stettler is by far the most beautiful one on the planet. It's highly polished. This could be nice, but it's just not a thing that people use anymore. If your nib is that mangled up that you have to use a nib block to straighten it, but it's a cool piece of history for the hobby. The Stettler block, and then there's a third block that I have that's very nice. A little bit different design, kind of chamfered edges. It looks very, very nicely done. That's going to bother me now because the really good one, the Stettler block, is missing. Here's the other one that I have. I forget who made this. But they kind of chamfered the edges. And I taped it so it was a little bit nicer for when you put the nib on there. It doesn't scratch the nib. Tape it up. The problem is these are expensive. When you find them, if you don't, I mean, the acrylic one is the cheapest one. If you want to experiment, get that one. Um, Nishimura, I think, makes them. Um, these are like 250 bucks. 200, 250 bucks when you find them. Because you know the repair guys who have them don't get rid of them, right? Like these are not for sale. They're talk to my daughter when she tackles the estate. That's when it's for sale. Do you need them? I mean, if you want to play around and you want to figure it out and learn, that's one thing. It's a lot of money to I sat down with John Matashaw once and we talked about it, and it sort of made sense. I've never really been very good at doing it. You bought you bought a block set with tools from Pendragon. It was not cheap. Yeah. Yeah, these are typically 200, 250 bucks. I think this one was the cheapest one of all the ones that I bought. I can't remember who made it. It did a nice job. Although it's kind of starting to rust. I need to polish it. But the other ones are more kind of a historical thing. I actually had my mother-in-law, Lisa's mom, I had her make a pouch, a really nice felt pouch and everything for the Stettler block, because it's just so beautiful, and it's really bothering me that I don't. It should be over here, but it's not. Well, I'll find it someday. I mean, if you want to play around with them, I just was never really able to get the hang of it. I've had better luck with buying. You've already got the pliers, but like these pliers, need to polish these up too. These work fairly well. I really need to polish off. I need to grind off the corners a little bit. They're a little bit too sharp. But these are about just as good for getting rid of bends as anything else on the planet. So you got money burning a hole in your pocket? Knock yourself out. Personally, I would take that 200 bucks and I'd buy another pen or something. That's just me. Let's see. Let's shave this down. I'm gonna do this all the rest of the stream. I'm gonna be looking around and people's gonna go, what the hell is he doing? And it's a most beautiful little pouch too that my mother-in-law made for me. It's like a little jacket for it. It's really awesome. It's kind of on my to-do list for the next, apparently 5 weeks, is to clean off. I have a side table over here that's got some tools and things on it. A little bit at a time. There's a whole lot of work for this pen. And I still don't like the nib. That didn't do what I just think it did it? Ah, this pen sucks. Well, this pen was problematic from the start, I guess. I'm done with this. I want nothing more to do with this pen. Nothing more. We are done with that. I hope to never see it again. All right. I suspect the barrel was slightly thin. Which is why I was shaving that section down, and it gave way. So this, however, should be straightforward. And yes, I probably have a barrel for that, but I'm not going to go through that hassle. That'll work. Actually, I wonder if we can get an 18. We'll fit an 18 in here. Problematic pens. I need to hide the razor blades. I look at it this way. I didn't buy that pen. I bought a cap. I didn't like the nib anyway. I bought a cap and a feed is what I bought on that pen. Boy, is it a nice cap too. Son of a. All right, so that goes in pretty much all the way. I can't cut it with the hemostat now, can I? Yeah, sometimes you have issues. Well, you know what? We tried on that one. Did we learn anything? And that's the important thing. What did we learn? We learned you can take drill bits, drill out. You'll be in DC, James? All right. Nice. You could use drill bits to drill out the last little bit of that section nipple if it breaks off. X-Acto works pretty good too. Extra practice in getting those style Sheaffer nibs apart. Always a good thing. And we're reminded not every pen can be saved. You're going to try to not give all your money to Osmond? Here is my checkbook. Give me all the pens. Why is this doing this? And I always recommend when you put the, if you have to take the J-bar out and you got to put it back in, give it several operations to make sure it's working right and it doesn't slip and then just stay in the down position. $4.15, huh? Hmm. Because if it slips, then it's never going to fill. Osmond's got good stuff, doesn't he? And I love when Osmond just pulls out, just casually pulls out a, number 8 or number 10 size Mont Blanc safety, and just tosses it around like it's an Esterbrook. The best method for resetting a J-bar is to let someone else do it. Sometimes that's how I feel about pressure bars. Your errands were thrilling? Well, you missed the most terrifying part of the show. One of the Sheaffers I bought in Chicago met its early demise. I thought we were almost there. The barrel had other plans. The nib was not great. The old section broke. I mean, there was just... Some days it doesn't matter what you do. It's not going to go your way. Did I get anything cool in North Carolina? Yeah, I got 2 cool things. One pen related, one not. One was, and actually Lisa and I were talking about it this morning. I got the coolest wind chime ever. Really very nice, beautiful, beautiful piece of North Carolina pottery. That actually has a separate clanger, which I hate that term, but I guess that's what they're called. It has a separate clanger that you hang up. It's not on the inside. Beautiful, beautiful tone to it. And we were discussing it on the trip into work this morning, where we're going to hang it, because I don't want to hang it outside. Because I have neighbors that, well, I've apparently rubbed the wrong way. When I asked for a simple request, they decided parking was not for them. So I got that. We might hang it up in the inside, and so when we pull the screens down, you'll be able to hear it. And it's essentially like a big bowl upside down. It's really gorgeous. Really, really, really. And the tone is just amazing. So we got that. And then the other thing I got was, we believe it to be like a pre-war, possibly a pre-war salesman's display case. That holds, what does it hold? 36, 40 pens, and it has a divider in it, and it's got the old sailor logo. It's really nice. I mean, it's got a ton of wabi sabi, but it's all there. And it's a cool case. It's really, really cool. So I'm real pleased with that. What else pen related? I picked up my North Carolina pen show purchases, or Triangle pen show purchases. Yeah, maybe. Well, the problem I have is I have a place for it. I actually have a hook, like a shepherd's hook, but behind my house where I would put it is like a wind tunnel. I mean, and it's I've replaced the what do you call it on the door? The that little what do you call it? The thing on the door that holds the door open. I've replaced that twice since I bought the door. The closer, yeah, I think is that the closer, the one that's like a big shock. It looks like a shock. Yeah, I've had to replace that. Well, I haven't replaced it twice. I've broken it twice. I fixed it once, and then the second time it was just beyond repair. So I had to get another one. And that's how strong the wind just catches the door, and it just, you know. So I don't really want to be putting out, yeah, too much wind, you know. And it's too nice. It's too nice, and we were like, well, I don't want it. I don't want it to sit on my table for 3 years. You know, it's because we're gonna move in 3 years ideally. So we'll see what we kind of got a place for it. I also don't want the cats to get interested. So yeah, those are the two probably the two coolest things I think that I can think of that I picked up. Speaking of pens selling for more than they used to, I'm seeing no nonsense pens for some wild prices. I shouldn't browse eBay on your lunch. Yeah, no nonsense, man. I don't know. There is no sense in no nonsense. All right. Okay, I'm done with those. Let's do something easy. Yeah, and I'm worried if the wind were to pick up the chime and somehow knock it over or knock over the shepherd's hook that I have for it. Right underneath where I want to put it is all stone. So it's going to, you know, if it falls, it's going to drop. It's going to hit the stone. It's going to break. It's, you know, it's not going to be pretty. I don't want to do these. I don't want to do these. I don't know that I really need black J's. Let's pull those out. $70? $70. Ooh. Like for the stainless steel one, maybe? I mean, you know, I was feeling guilty. I had a stainless steel one a couple years back, and I'm like, oh, I think I put 30, 35, 40 bucks on it. You know, I did sell it. You didn't realize I was using a shepherd's hook? Yeah, and we don't have an overhang. You should charge $150 for your no-nonsense pen sorted for Esterbrook nibs. What is this? I bought these. Where did I buy these pens? Chicago? I don't know what this is. What the hell is this? There's a stainless one for $140. Did someone retrofit this for a... Someone retrofitted this for a ballpoint refill. I haven't looked at these since I bought them. I kind of bought them and I grabbed them in a pile and I threw them in my bag. $140. What's this? I bet they glued this in. Look at this. Look at this crap. It looks like a no-nonsense ballpoint insert? How ironic. It looks, it's very crude. It's not even at the tip. Did they destroy my section is what I want to know? It's hideous, yeah. Find a refill that fits and give it to Lisa? You're going to make me look for a refill, aren't you? Too short for a cross. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Hang on. Yeah, it would be funny. I wonder if they... The hell do they do in here? Oh man, you have got to be kidding me. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. This would make the most sense. No, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't fit a Parker style. They shoved a piece of tissue in the back end of the barrel. Okay, so it doesn't fit Waterman either. No Parker, no Waterman. That's a really thin. Yeah, that's Waterman ballpoint. But there's no way this is going to fit. No way. Yeah, so the limiting factor is this shoulder here. So those aren't going to work. Oh, well, this most certainly is not going to work. Well, maybe it will. I don't know. Nope. One of those pilot ones from the 70s. I mean, it could be something as dumb as, hang on. It could be something as dumb as they took a cross refill and, because it's got to be thin. They took a cross refill and they cut it down. This is the dumbest thing ever. This is my good cross ballpoint that I use every day. I mean, there's no way. It's... I guess maybe if you take this part off. Well, even that doesn't fit. Well, what the... What is thinner than this? What a stupid, stupid thing. Well, now I'm curious. What else do I have sitting over here? It's a Schmidt. Well, this should be the same size as, yeah, this doesn't fit. This is a D1. This is a, for all you complete nerds out there, this is a, what, Sailor Made Sheaffer combo. Ballpoint pen. Made in Japan. It's obviously made in Japan. All right, I'm running out of options here. If this fits, it'd be a miracle. You got a 51 in Imperial for $100 at a estate sale recently? It had the pump converter, you mean the vac? Yeah, it's not going to work. If it's the right 51, that's a good deal. Yeah, it's got to be a super thin. Anything else over here? No, I got a bunch of retro 51s. And a Sharpie. Wait, how thin is that? Yeah, I mean, it fits a toothpick. Hmm. Little red transitional. This one is boogered up. We're not going to do that one. You look through your door and see. I can't imagine what the heck would have fit in here. That's not a good match. Let's get rid of that. Well, then refill from a Lamy tri-pen. Those are the mini D1s. So that's the same one that's in this Sheaffer. It doesn't fit. You got one of these? Bet you don't have one of these. Maybe you do. You got Sheaffer everything. What did they do here? Pentel RSV. I don't have any Pentel that I can think of. I mean, if I'm going to screw up an Esterbrook section, that's the one to screw up, isn't it? I want to see if I can knock this. It might only be held in here by friction. Yeah. It was only held in by friction. That would be a fun experiment, though. Save that insert or give it to you. I'm gonna get that platinum pencil one way or the other. You're gonna get this box of just utter crap, and you're gonna go, pencil, yours. And there's the padding at the back of the. This is probably the secret to everything. This probably says what refill fits. Oh, there's some writing on here. I feel like this is like an archaeology dig. Yeah, the button style converter on the Triumph, on the Imperial, yeah. They're cool when they work. What is this kind? I don't know. Now I'm just killing time here, apparently. But I want to see what this is. It's got some red. Don't open it on stream. It's a treasure map. Ooh, oh, oh, I got words. I got words. What is this? I don't think we're gonna get any real secrets of the universe. I have REN. A little star. Sus. Well, I got nothing. So this was in the bottom of the barrel. Surrender? I don't know. Oops. You never know what you're gonna find. Or it'll curse us all. Yeah. It's a Swiss account information. I don't. I'm guessing they probably don't have too much in their bank account if that's what. All right, you can have this little part. I'll add it. I'll add it to your box, David. Abandon hope, all you who enter here. All right. The rest of these guys look okay. This section actually looks okay. Should be able to thread a nib unit into it. That'll be like an Egyptian curse. Okay, good. All right. That looks fine. All right. Put that up there with our little secret note. That's this. Interesting. That was easy. That one's got a marked sack. What fun. What fun. All right. We'll start on these tomorrow. That sounds like a good tomorrow project. We will look at the JUCO. Tomorrow we can put that back together, and it looks good. The weight and the needle is straight, so it goes through, and it moves when you lift it up and pull it back. So I'm positive. Well, not positive. I have a positive feeling that it's going to work like it should. It's always good when you get a I got shellac on my loop here. I'm going to let that dry. It's always good when it moves like that. So we'll play with that. Stylographs can be fun. They can be fun. They're different. Yeah, have a great night, David. We will try that. We'll get the Esterbrook's cooking, and when we get these done, we'll start at another batch. Looking back, I'm running out of pens, so we're going to be working on Esterbrook's for a while until we get to the DC show. I've got some desk sets. We'll do some desk sets too, so we'll do that. So anyway, yeah, have a good day. Kimonosis. Have a good day. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Do I need a few dozen more Esterbrook's? You can help with an emergency shipment. Oh man, there's a text coming. That's right. You got some Esterbrook's, didn't you? Anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow. Be kind, be well, and have a great evening. Talk to you later.